Hello, Amanda. This is George Haddad, and this is my song-based picture book. As you can see here, I've decided to select The Wheels on the Bus, a very popular and well-known song by students and adults alike. I felt that this song correlated best with grades 3 to 4, which I'll explain in the next slide. The general outcome here is listed, but more importantly to the point of my activities is the specific outcome here, where students will use grammatical knowledge to predict words and construct sentences when reading narrative and expository materials. So just a couple quick things before we proceed here. The notation was actually not included in the book. I had to retrieve the notation from the internet, and the link is posted here in the top right hand side of the slide. This particular book was by Jeanne Willis, and the illustrations were done by Adam Strohr, and I retrieved this book from Coots Library at the U of A. Again, I just thought it was important to note that the lyrics in the song are actually uh, not the traditional lyrics. They're a little bit different, but everything else will remain the same, such as the rhythm, notes, etc. I felt this song was appropriate for grades 3 and 4 because after going through the criteria, I felt that all of the criteria matched grades 3 and 4 except the texture. The harmonizing remained grades K to 2 monophonic, but everything else, which I'm not going to go into too much detail here, I felt strongly correlated with the grades 3 to 4 range. In my opinion, I would choose early grade 3 for this particular song. There's just a look at the first page that I put. Again, it's important, I think, to notice the lyrical difference, which you'll see in the coming slides as well, but the wheels on the bus go round and round, etc. at the zoo. So it is a little different, but everything else will remain the same. One thing I actually thought I'd like to point out was the how this particular version of this song does a good job of introducing alliteration. So we can see that in this particular example. The bear on the bus goes brum brum brum. So we see the use of the letter B in bear, bus, and brum brum brum. I thought that would be very helpful and a playful guideline to introducing alliteration. So activity one, this activity I felt could be done with the entire book if one wanted to, or just a select few pages. So basically what would happen is that, say for example, we would include this particular page. The croc on the bus goes snap, snap, snap. So basically I would like to blank out snap, 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 and we would have the word snap on the smartboard along with other words such as possibly roar or brum or flap or whatever it may be. And more coinciding with the specific outcome, I could add ed, snapped or roared or flapped or possibly ing or es endings. We just want to work on the kids' grammar a bit here. So we would have to basically select as a class what the most appropriate word is, and ideally I'd be hoping as a class that we would select the correct one, which makes sense grammatically. So in this case it would be the croc on the bus goes snap, snap, snap. So it wouldn't be the croc on the bus goes snapping, snapping, snapping. I guess like my goal would be for students to sort of sound the words out and uh, try and understand which words would not be correct based on their grammar or how they sound. Another thing before we go on to activity two I'd like to point out was the song does, this version of the song does a good job at introducing onomatopoeia as well. What I liked about this picture that I took was it introduces onomatopoeia in roar, roar, roar while maintaining alliteration as well, as we can see with the use of the letter R in the word roar. Activity two. So rather than have the words completely absent like we did in activity one. I'd still want the words present on the page with the exception of, if you just take a look at the example down here, I would blank out the first letter of the words. And this particular activity could be done in it could be done in partners, small groups, or we could do it as a class. And students would essentially have a selection of 3 to 4 letters to choose from, and hopefully they would select the correct letter that would go in front of the corresponding letters there. So in this case, um, it would be the letter F for flip, flap, flop. So uh, part of this activity is just looking at the animal and based on prior knowledge, thinking what kind of sound would that animal make, or what kind of words would correlate with that animal. So I could possibly have the letter F, B, C, or any other letter listed along there, and obviously the correct answer, the children would have to select the letter F. That's it for my presentation. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you again, and have a great weekend.